If you want to check out snippets from my own cartoony sci-fi comic series, Smacked in the Head the Animated Series, there's a link in the description below. Welcome back, kids. It's been too long since I did a video, so I thought I'd throw up another quick sketch. So welcome to what I'm calling my new hobby by proxy. A tabletop wargaming experience that I cannot afford to get invested in either time nor money. Nevertheless, this past week and a half I found myself watching numerous painting tutorials and terrain building videos, so needing a new video to post, I thought maybe I'd try tackling the God Emperor from Warhammer 40K. But quickly changed my mind. Dude, Warhammer 40K lore is absolutely bonkers, and I finally get people's obsession with the property. They do borrow from a lot of other properties like Dune and Terminator, but that's bound to happen. Most people like myself that are into sci-fi love sci-fi, and it's fine to pull from your favorite sources for inspiration. In my case, every time Star Wars does something narratively wrong, I walk over to a notebook and write down a story idea. But I digress. Anyway, I decided to do just a regular old Space Marine for the drawing instead of the God Emperor, since they were my first introduction to the universe years ago.
No mercy, no respite!
I first became aware of Warhammer 40K in college around 2001 and fell in love with the designs of the Space Marines. Around that time, an acquaintance allowed me to build one of his miniature figures, but sadly, he didn't offer to let me keep it. Aww. Since then, I've bought a Space Marine combat squad and a bike. Oh man, check out that sword! I wish mine had come with that. That would have been awesome. Warhammer 40K is filled with the most outlandish, over-the-top character designs and armors. Like, seriously. And having more of a background in cartoon art, there's something always super appealing to me about the basic, low-detail base design of a character. I'm actually basing the design of this character on a couple of different sources. You can see my reference pictures on the screen here and there, but I also have my unpainted combat squad on my desk that I'm referencing. Which, funny story, it's only after starting this drawing and something like 2.5 decades later that I now realize I actually glued the shoulder pads on them wrong and had to rip them off the other day. Sorry, Morton. I was trying to do something dynamic in the thumbnails and maybe a little different than you would normally see the Space Marines doing. I think I dig this pose though. If you're in the habit of watching these videos, you might notice this time around I'm limiting my use of the pen tool to do long sweeping curves that come out very smooth in the end. No, 90% of this drawing will be done with all brush, which lends a gritty uncleanness that the subject matter seems to require. Plus, it makes me think of old school cartoons that might appear in magazines accompanying articles. Maybe it'd say something like,
"When tabletop turns on the fans."
And thus, we have a clickbait title for this drawing video. Huzzah!
Cleanse the monstrosity!
I'd say no matter how long you do art, you're always going to learn something new. For example, I discovered only just this year, the more nonsense noise and action lines you add to a drawing, the more comic book or cartoony it's going to look. More bull lines! The more the merrier, why not? I used to adhere so much to the idea that everything had to have a purpose or shape. No wasted lines, no unnecessary line work. That's the same thing. Teachers used to hammer it home that you need to have a solid structure underneath. And while I still believe that's true, that you need to know the basics before you can start breaking the rules, at this point in my life, I think I've got those basics down, and the rule of cool takes precedence. If it looks cool, go with it. In case you were wondering, these jagged little lines that I add on the surfaces, I tend to call junk in my head. I figure this guy has been through absolute hell, hence the broken power sword, long since depleted, and broken swords have always been awesome since I was a kid watching Pirates of Dark Water. If you find yourself watching this video and screaming at the screen about the choices or mistakes I'm making here, drop your comments below and tell me all the technical details and lore bits I'm missing. Honestly, what started all of this like 2 weeks ago was I was staring hard at this action figure. I really want 2 of these guys. This copy and paste of the gun is something new I'm trying. I've seen it done in comics for years and I dig it, but I've never really tried it on my own stuff. What do you think? I usually skip over showing the coloring aspects of these videos. Based on the subject matter, though, it felt appropriate, at least to show a little.
Unleash all fury upon them! We shall be the end of you! Fear me.
This actually started turning into one of those unusually long, quote-unquote, quick sketch videos over the last week, and I actually may have gone a bit overboard with the junk. You let me know which you prefer, with or without all of them colored in. Like I said, the cost of this hobby is basically going to make this a hobby of hobbyists for me, and I will continue to watch lore, painting, and terrain creation videos. So in the end, you guys out there living the hobby are awesome. Keep the painting, lore, and terrain videos coming so I can live vicariously through you. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
The abomination has met its fate.